Hi there, this is Mira, and I am coming to you with the fabulous Bedard sisters, who are two of our unit's top performers right now. We're going to talk a little bit about virtual appointments, particularly virtual color parties. So, I sent you guys some questions. So, let me just start out by asking you the questions in order. Um, what prompted you to start using virtual color parties in your Mary Kay businesses?
Well, it's what I noticed is a lot of people are just extremely busy. Um, I was trying to make appointments face to face, and it just, life is so busy
Mhm.
for everybody. And then I also have a lot of people that live in different states that really wanted to try things. And so I thought, oh, what do the facial in a bag, but just do the
Mhm.
color.
Right.
And I reached a lot of people that way, and it was a really, really positive feedback. And even if they couldn't get on my event,
Mhm.
they just followed the instructions or reached out to me, and then I just had them send me their picture, their selfie.
Oh, that's awesome. So you
Yeah.
start out with a selfie. Now, what kind of samples did you use? How did you choose those samples? Because I know you have deviated from the regular look cards that have been around
Mhm.
for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, I think the look cards are a good start when you're just having people try out Mary Kay products for the first time with like the skincare and
Mhm.
everything. And that's what I would do with the facial in a bag. I would add one of
Mhm.
those. But a lot of people were interested in trying one of the looks because it had just some
Uh-huh.
extra stuff with it
Great.
than the color cards can have, and they're colors that people really gravitate towards usually.
Great.
So I
Yeah,
just stuck with either the two or the two most recent catalogs. So I was doing the four
that's awesome.
looks, and I asked them just to choose which one they wanted. And if they couldn't choose, I asked, well, do you like more neutral or, and then
Mhm.
that's how we would decide.
That's great. That's great. Okay, so do you do step-by-step instruction via video chat? Do you have scripts that you use for your parties and events? How do you go about holding these appointments?
How I did mine was I just kind of flew by the seat of my pants, honestly. But I did basically like we do in our parties. I still had my flip chart book out because I'm kind of new
Uh-huh.
back in the business again. So I still tried to stick with the flip chart, hot topics and everything. But
Huh.
like Erica said, the looks that she sent to her people. I also did a little bit of that. I added extra things, like the sample mascaras is a really big
Mhm. Yeah.
win for me
Mhm.
personally. And then also, you know, things like the emollient night cream is just a little bit extra
Mhm.
moisturizing.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that's basically what I did. And going back to the first topic for my customers, I have a lot of friends who are here whose family and friends are in other states. So like
Great.
Erica said, it's just
Yeah.
really great to be able to reach out to people all over.
Right.
And then, a lot of people are busy. I know
Mhm.
two of the people that were on my call were moms. And so they just were like, yeah, I just put my kids, out with their snacks and put a movie on and I'm in here, and sometimes that's all you can do,
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
to get your facial in.
Right. Well, and that makes it so convenient because you don't necessarily have to have childcare either way, and you don't have
Hmm.
to have however many screaming kids, and you don't have to try and find a
Hmm.
time where everybody's not sick,
Right.
which is always a challenge, even pre-COVID, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone's schedules are so hard, especially if you're doing like 5 or 6 ladies, getting everyone together in one space at one location. That's just really, we have gravitated towards not making the time to do that. That's just the
Right.
society that we live in. And
Right.
so and I find that a lot of people will be more apt to say yes to a party if they know that they can be in the comfort of their own home,
Mhm.
in front of their bathroom and their sink,
Mhm.
doing how they would normally do their own skincare, but with our products. And so
Right.
I think that the comfort thing is a really huge
Yeah.
gravitate towards,
Right.
what
Yeah.
somebody would do.
Yeah. Now, this isn't on the list of questions, but do you find that there's a best time to be booking the virtual appointments? Is there a different times of day that I know, Erika, you're a teacher, so you're in school during the day, but do you have better luck with certain times versus other times?
Hmm. Well, I found that the one that I did do was I made it at 8 o'clock, which if it was more skincare, I think that would have been better. But we were doing and it was people that I knew, so they were just excited to try it. They didn't care what time of day it was, honestly. But I think if I were to do that again, I would be like, let's do more of a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning so that you can actually enjoy and go out with your look instead of, oh, I put this on, now I have to just wash it off and take it off. So that's something I learned, I would guess, for mine. But for a skincare pamper thing, it's like, hey, let's get our jammies on and and have like a pamper evening. But with makeup, it can happen at night, but it's more like a lot of people aren't going to go out after that, at least the people that I hang out with. They're like, well, I guess I'll go to bed. So, yeah.
Yeah, we just had like a girls' night in pajama theme with wine. And so we all got our own wine and, so it was pretty fun.
That's amazing. I love that. What's your best tip for someone who wants to start doing appointments virtually and hasn't yet?
Yeah.
I would say take notes for yourself. Just kind of organize how you're going to, tell your party people about it, and then just make sure that you have everything written down step by step on how you're going to do it from your house. It was something, because my one that I didn't do that, and I wasn't very organized, even though I kept to the flip chart.
Great.
That was one of the things that I reflected on for myself, was to really have a very organized list for yourself. And one of the things that I did not do, that I didn't think about, was to be able to follow up with them, because I did everything through my friend who was doing the party. I didn't get any of their contact information, and it just, it was just so fast, and I confronted them, after the party, like, hey, what did you like about what we did tonight? And, ask the questions, of course, on the customer profile. But, and one of the things that I did do, and I should have asked them about, and I didn't, but I did send them an envelope with a stamp on it to return the customer profile card with me. And they probably would have sent it back had I talked to them about it after the party and everything. So make sure you do that, because you do want them to send you referrals, and so there are ways to still do the incentives.
I think that's interesting, because because there's the technology part, but you can also have people, you can put in a customer profile card and have people be following up with you that way too, and sending it back for a prize or a gift or some kind of incentive. I like that.
Yeah.
And then the last question is, are you going to use this format with the current makeover contest that's happening through the middle of May?
Yeah, I think the contest is one of the best ways to get people to do things, is like, hey, I need your help.
Yeah.
I have this challenge that I'm doing. And it's really simple, here's what we can do, and here's the options for that. And it kind of just helps you out, and it gets them to be able to try something for free. And then they can invite people, so there's so many things you can do on virtual. It makes it so flexible. And you can, I did mine on Facebook, which can be good, but can also be limiting. If you do something like the virtual makeover and you have it open, then it's like, okay, well, I don't have that many samples, you have to limit it to a point, but just starting with
pick like 5 to 15 people that you want to work with for the contest. Well, the other thing that I'm finding, especially as I'm doing photos, helping people do their photos, it takes a lot of effort to make sure that everybody is happy with the way that they look. So at first I was like feeling like I needed to do big 100 face energy. And then I'm like, no, we don't want that. So when
Scale
you're
it back.
yeah, like that sounds great, but then it makes you tired just thinking about starting. So
So I wanted to add something. The only downfall of doing a virtual party is you will not be able to foundation match. That was the only thing that, so you could do, I don't know how you would get around that other than having them go outside and send you a couple of photos, profile photos, and then sending like 3 or 4 samples of foundation.
Well, and then have you used the foundation quiz on your personal website? That is, I feel like that's about 65% accurate because it's all about the answers. Everyone says they're the lightest color.
Yeah.
People from India are like, oh, I'm the lightest color. I'm like, not possible.
No, honey, you're not.
Yeah, really.
So that's
yeah,
great.
so that was the only thing that, which was fine because we still had fun with it. And I know that you're supposed to do like the second appointment is the look appointment, but for me it was people that I kind of knew, and so I did the skincare portion of it, and then we did the color cards, and so we did finish out with a true full makeover essentially, and they just used their own foundation and that way they could do the blush over the top and whatnot. So
love it. That's great. Well, these are all really great tips. Anything in closing that you want to add to this?
I guess just if you're worried about starting if you've never done a virtual thing, the best way to do it, I think, is to start with people that you feel the most comfortable with and just say, hey, let's try this out. I might not be great at it, but I want to do it so that I can get more comfortable. And I did mine on Facebook groups or something, and it was pretty straightforward, but it was just, hey, we're going to try it out. And then once you just do it once, you realize, wow, that was actually pretty easy. And then you can always have people it's a great way to get people to add themselves to your customer list without because they can do that digitally. That profile card is pretty much digital now. So it's a great way to be like, get them to learn the technology as well along with you. So that's what I would close with is if people were kind of self-conscious about that, like I was, just to start with people that you feel comfortable with and then go from there.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right.
That's definitely what I would have said too. So, and I mean, really any platform you can use. We used the Google one. It's like Google Meeting, and then Zoom. I think that there's a time limit on some of them, but
it depends. Yeah, I always forget about Google Meet, even though I used that for years before Zoom was a big deal. So I mean, I've heard of people using the WhatsApp app, there's messenger groups and like chats and stuff like that. You're right. There's so many different ways to try and to work on that. So, well, thank you guys for sharing. I appreciate you. I'm going to end the recording.